Hello, this is Elaine from Nabi Studio, and I'm just warning everybody out there right now that this is going to be a short and very messy video. I was debating all morning whether or not to do a podcast, but I haven't spoken to anybody or spoken to you guys in a while now. I guess it's about a month at least, right? Right before the last episode, I was leaving for the States for 2 weeks for the Herbstferien, which is the autumn break here. The kids get off every 2 months for 2 weeks. So I took them home to visit their grandparents and their aunt and their uncle and their cousin. And I was going to see my friends and do different things. I went to see ballet. But things kind of took a turn. So basically, about halfway through my trip, I actually fainted in the middle of the night and was unconscious. And I'm not sure for how long because nobody was there or nobody was awake when it happened. And I hit my head and ended up getting a swollen black and blue eye. And now it looks like I still have a black and blue eye, well, actually green eye here, but I assure you that it is the light. It's very cloudy out today, and I've looked all over the place to try to find the right spot. Either I'm really blown out and shiny, or I look like I have a still, I mean, I guess you can still kind of see it. This whole eye area is still a little green if you were actually seeing me. So anyway, just wanted to catch up real quick. I decided not to drag everything out, but show you just current things that are happening or things that I had accessible to me to show you today. So I'm wearing my Sapilla, which I absolutely love, and that I knit out of my own hand-dyed Nabi Wool Studio yarn. The green is limey and the pink is dusk, I believe. So anyway, I know I should have all this information, but I just wanted to put this out there before I had to pick up kids and all this stuff. And so let's see some of my finished objects, and I believe that this was number 30 for the year. 30 sweaters. Actually, I'm up to 32. But this was number 30. And the color is all wrong here. It's terrible. And now it's getting blown out. But anyway, this is my Widow's Kiss for Thea Coleman. And she released it right before Rhinebeck. So I also hand-dyed that yarn for this. And it is called Diamond Fizz, which is a cocktail, because Baby Cocktails Thea Coleman sweater decided to go with the alcohol theme, so you can find that in the shop. Also, it's a DK worsted weight yarn, and it is 100% Falkland. It's really soft and wonderful, actually. And then I also finished a test, which I won't show right now because it's not released yet, but this is for Alina Schneider, Gift of Knitting. And I made this, it's all over texture with cables. And obviously you should pick a yarn that can show off the cables and the texture well. So that would usually mean a solid yarn, but I decided to pick something completely crazy and alpaca on top of it, which might not be great for cables, but I actually really love the way this turned out. It gave it an interesting texture and just something different and fun. And then a couple days ago, I finished number 32, and this is all with Iztec yarn Alafoslopi, and that's the bulky weight, and that is a new design from Erie, and I believe it's called Hayuki. Snow is English translation. And the Alina Schneider sweater is called Amber. My current whips that I have, and I'm about to finish this soon. I could probably finish it today if I would just kind of dedicate time to it, is my sweater for This Bird Knits. And it's a color work sweater, and the colors are a little bit, I guess it's sort of true. Maybe it's a little more yellow than it's showing up here. But it is worsted weight also, and the main color is Malabrigo. And the two contrast colors are my hand-dyed Ravelry wool. So, and it has texture in the body. So I'm almost done with that. I'm hoping today, but I've been saying that for a few days now. And I'm also test knitting a pair of socks for Charlotte Stone Knits, and it's colorwork socks for the holidays if you want, or for the winter season at least. So I, in typical fashion, am doing 2 at a time. I might not do that when it comes to the colorwork section, because I usually end up having a very big mess and getting very, very crazy. So I did a tubular bind-on. Tubular cast on. I'm sorry, I'm losing all sense of language and everything. With my fainting, I notice that I get confused very easily, and I have a lot of headaches still, and I get dizzy. And I'm not sure if it's from the fainting or from the hitting my head. Basically, I've gone to doctors, by the way, and they have no idea why it happened. Anyway, so I am using Reflection as the color she used, that's white, and her sock, and a Night of Dreams, sorry, as my main color, which is tweed. And then for the contrast heel, I'm going to use Snap Snap Sugar Snap. So imagine, that's getting completely blown out. Yeah, I can't get that. So anyway, here are the 3 colors that I'm using. So the sock has snowflakes and reindeer, and there's actually color work on the heel, which I have never done before, so that will be interesting, and I'm looking forward to that. And other things that I have on the side for personal fun, I am working on a hat for my son. I'm hoping that I can finish it before winter is over. But anyway, I'm not sure why I set myself this crazy task of doing 1 by 1 ribbing with fingering weight yarn. So this is Woolfolk, and it's black with navy marl. So he wanted a black hat, but I didn't want to torture myself with just black. And this navy adds a really nice touch to it, and I'm not sure you can see it, and it is so soft and wonderful to work with. It's luxury yarn, and I highly recommend you try it if you haven't. I have tinned and maybe some far also, but anyway, and then I'm also, for personal fun, knitting Early Morning, and I am not sure how to pronounce the designer's name, but I have not gone very far on this, and the color is not really showing properly, no matter where I hold it. So it's my hand-dyed yarn, and I decided to use Aran weight. So this is Falkland and mohair and nylon, and it has this beautiful, beautiful halo, and it's so soft and wonderful to work with. And I wanted a bright and happy mustardy, orangey yellow. And that's what I dyed up for myself. And, okay, the sweater is early morning. Oh, it's Bayuku Shimizu. And she is, she has a bunch of wonderful, wonderful, beautiful patterns. So I'm looking forward to working on that when I have time. And you'll see that I'm not going to do a whole show and tell of all the things that I purchased because I have it all over the place. But I can show you some of the things. So I basically am in love with all fringe bags. I don't know if you've seen my Instagram picture once where I had my collection out, but they had some recent new additions to their lineup. So I have the Jen Hewitt one, and I actually am getting the Wool and Honey one. It's a beautiful yellow, honey yellow color, and but I'm shipping that to my parents, and I'm not sure when I will be back there next, so I might not see it for a year. I also got the Wax Natural one, which I currently finished the project that I was working on that was housed in this bag, so it's back in my storage here. I got the new honey porter bin, which is also here, and I got the mini porter bin. I basically am in love with everything that they have. And the other wonderful thing, actually, was funny because the night that I passed out, or early morning, I had woken up basically because I thought my son was awake at some ridiculous hour, because when we go visit my family, my older son, who is only 10, decides that he's going to stay up all night or till 3 in the morning. So, and I'm exhausted when I get there, flying and everything, and driving and all the other things to get to visit my family. So I go to bed earlier, and the kids actually stay up later than I do. And yeah, so the first night, both kids, I think, actually stayed up till like 6 in the morning, which would be lunchtime here. So they basically stayed up for over 24 hours. And so that night that I thought he was awake, I heard noise outside. It was my sister, and she had just told me he's actually sleeping in the bed. And I said, oh. So, and unfortunately, she had dropped her laptop on my laptop and broke the apple on the cover. So I said, oh, okay. And I turned around to go back to bed. And after I turned around, apparently I fainted. And when I woke up and I crawled back into bed, I still couldn't see at that point. But at some point, I decided to find out what time it was, and I turned on my phone just to find out the time. And that's when I realized that I won the giveaway that Mocha was running for the new issue of Making, to do the Yonko pattern, Michelle, in the magazine. So it was weird that I had a couple of things that were sort of bad news told to me, and then I found out I won. And weirdly enough, I decided to text my friend in the middle of the night to tell her I won, and then afterwards said, oh, by the way, I just fainted, and I'm pretty sure I hit my eye. I feel that it's swelling up. So anyway, see what yarn does to a person. So basically, I had to, I know this is all over the place, I had to have some brain rest after this whole incident. So I tried to stay off screens and stuff like that. And basically, it's really difficult to do that. You have to pay bills and all this other stuff. But I pretty much did not watch television or movies or anything for a while. And since this happened basically halfway through my trip, I did not get to see a lot of friends. I had to cancel out on visiting with Paola at Mayak, and friends that I had planned to see. I couldn't. One of my friends I was trying to catch up with, we haven't seen each other in, I say, 25 years now. So it was a little unfortunate, and I was a little afraid to do much because I didn't want to faint out in the street or something. And still, now that I'm home again and everything, I'm a little afraid of doing too much, and I'm really tired very easily, so I go to bed basically sometimes before the kids go to bed if my husband is home. And trying to rest and trying to really do this self-care thing, which we all talk about and not necessarily do. And I feel that, you know, with motherhood also, there's a lot of things that take away from our rest that aren't actual activities or things, because you're constantly worrying about different things, and I find it difficult not to worry. And the doctor had also said that he said I'm like a watchdog, and that I'm always on alert. I'm always waiting and listening for the children, and so I don't actually get to really rest ever. And I know that, and I feel that, and I'm really going to try a little bit more to do what we always also say, to be kind to ourselves, and allow ourselves to just be or not do whatever that is. And you know, if things are a little messier or whatever, as long as no one is getting hurt, sometimes we have to just say, I'm not going to do this anymore, or I'm not going to do this right now, and all of those little things will have to just kind of take a little backseat every once in a while. I know my personality is not to be like that, and but I think we all need to give ourselves a little pampering and a little attention that we perhaps always give to everybody else in our family, and just learn to not allow ourselves to get to a point where we are fainting. So, but there are things that are coming up that I'm really, really looking forward to in 2019. We have booked everything for EYF, so if you guys are going, I'm hoping that you'll say hi if you see me. I was really sad that I didn't go to Rhinebeck, but I realize now that I couldn't have after fainting, so I wouldn't have been able to drive up there and deal with all of that. I find that crowds are still a little bit much for me at this point. So then I'm doing EYF next year. I'm going for a full week, so I'm hoping to take advantage of all the extra fringe events. And then in July, I am going to do the Shetland tour with Gudrun Johnson and Mary Jane Mucklestone. I'm going with Yona and Sini from Lina. Really looking forward to that. And then in August, I'll be going to their knitting retreat in France. Not the one with Vera Valimaki. I will be attending the one with Andrea Mowry, which was not a public announcement. That was announced to the former attendees and sold out right away. So there was not enough space for new attendees, and not even enough space for the former attendees, actually. So they introduced another one, I think a month after, which I would have loved to have gone also, but I think my my family would be a little upset that I was going every other week somewhere. So I'm really looking forward to that, and that's going to be at the Happy Hamlet in France, and we'll see some people that I got to hang out with last time. So those are the current events that I know I will be going to and looking forward to going to. I will have to make travel arrangements for the last two still, but the first one is completely set. I know where I'm staying, where we'll be staying, and I'm not taking any classes, but my friend is. But I will hopefully be at the Kaylee and the Knit Night and whatever event happens on Sunday, if there is one, and should probably be there most of the time on the days of the festival. So I know that this one episode is going to be a little messy and I will seem to be a little all over the place, but I just wanted to tell you that I am here. Unfortunately, I had a little health issue and I'm still dealing with it right now. I think I probably had a concussion from hitting my head, and it's causing me a little confusion sometimes, a lot of dizziness and a lot of headaches and exhaustion, very easily exhausted these days. But I just wanted to say hello, and I hope that I will get to do the next episode soon. And I'll stop clapping. And that I do miss doing this, and I just wanted to say hello and to assure you that I am here and I'm okay. And happy knitting. Bye.